So guys, the crypto markets are dumping right now, but if you're an altcoin investor, you should be taking these dips to your advantage by dollar cost averaging. Right now, we've been keeping up with Bitcoin dominance and exactly how it has an effect on altcoins with the total 3E chart. And from there, guys, determining exactly when altcoin season is going to be happening. We have mixed sentiment right now. The US markets have data that is going to be coming out this week. We have Trump talking crap about Jerome Powell and how we need to be seeing rate cuts at the end of July. But at the end of the day, guys, we're going to be seeing what's going to be happening. And today, I want to walk you through those news events, the price action we're currently seeing, and what you need to be aware of as an altcoin crypto investor. Overall, though, if you're new to my channel, go ahead and check out the rest of my content. I keep you guys updated on the day-to-day events, price action on Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and practically everything you need to be aware of, guys. I've dropped some recent videos talking about exactly how I, make money on a day-to-day basis with day trading. I also talked about exactly when you should be selling your altcoins and a few more updated videos, guys, just keeping you updated on the day-to-day events and everything that's happening. But right now, I want to walk you through the perspectives, the price action with all the red that we're seeing in the market, and exactly what is anticipated for altcoins and for altcoin investors. Let's jump straight into it. So guys, like how I said, the crypto markets have been dumping in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin's currently sitting at around 105,000, deviated from that 108,000 zone that we were sitting at yesterday. We were anticipating deviations, guys, opening up in the week, and this is practically what is happening. If you watch the market update video, guys, you were kind of aware about this stuff, but this is where you need to make sure you're commenting, and subscribing. Overall, though, ETH is also starting to see deviations breaking below that 2,500 zone. The total 3E chart is pretty much reflecting that altcoins are just seeing more deviations, guys, and this is where, altcoin season is not going to start until this total 3E chart actually has a big reversal. Same thing with Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is pretty much making new cycle highs. Currently seeing a little bit of a deviation, but still sitting at 65% zone, that 65% zone. A lot of people are anticipating that we're going to be reaching anywhere from 70 to potentially higher in terms of whenever Bitcoin dominance is going to truly peak out, and altcoins are going to get the liquidity that they truly need. But guys, moving into stable coins, you can see that right now we're starting to see everyone reallocate into stable coins just due to the fear and uncertainty in the market. Everyone wants to make sure that they have some dry powder. Right now, guys, like I said, we have some key events happening this week with the US markets. Today we did see pretty much Jerome Powell speak. We saw Trump talk crap about Jerome Powell as well, and a few other different things. And then we also saw the June ISM manufacturing PMI data and the May JOLTS job openings. The more important data that I believe is going to be on Wednesday and Thursday with the June ADP non-farm employment data and the June jobs report as well. And the markets are going to be closed on Friday, guys, for the 4th of July, Independence Day in the United States. Overall, though, since that's been happening, guys, the US markets have been surging, pretty much growing and growing exponentially. We've been seeing this happen, over the last few months. And as a result, we're starting to see exactly what's going on with the US markets. And then also exactly when we could potentially see rate cuts because of exactly how inflation, unemployment, and a few other different things are looking. So far, President Trump has threatened to fire Fed Chair Powell, called for a 100 basis point rate cut, asked if he could nominate himself as Fed Chair, called for a 250 basis point rate cut, sent a handwritten letter to Too-Late Powell, called for interest rates to drop to 1%. Lower interest rates appear to have become President Trump's #1 economic priority. It's going to be an interesting third quarter, and this is why, guys, I said everything now is all eyes on July, August, September, moving into the holiday season as well. But I really believe that more than likely we might see rate cuts before we move into all the holidays. Now, if we jump more into the perspective from Trump, he's just pretty much saying how, he threats to cut subsidies on Elon Musk's company. And there's pretty much also, just debates and fighting between Trump and Elon, which is not really on the top of our list, guys. More exactly what's happening with the tariffs and negotiations and exactly what could be happening with the Fed and rate cuts. Fed Chair Powell says a solid majority at the Fed expect rate cuts later this year. So obviously we're going to be seeing rate cuts this year, but they say later this year. He says Powell also says he cannot say whether July is too soon to consider cutting rates. So We might see rate cuts in July, we might not, but more than likely we're going to be seeing rate cuts. We are going to see rate cuts by the end of the year, which is going to cause, guys, a fluctuation in the markets. More stuff around Trump and Elon, but then from here, guys, you can see a little bit more information about exactly the U.S. Data that has been coming out and how the U.S. M2 money supply has been jumping exponentially, showing that liquidity is moving around in the markets like crazy, and the U.S. dollar's purchasing power is in an internal bear market. It is not looking good, guys, for the U.S. dollar right now, and this is why Trump is talking about rate cuts. Overall, guys, there's multiple different things that are causing and having an effect on the U.S. dollar, but at the end of the day, the biggest thing you need to be aware of is that it's not looking too hot for the U.S. and how everything is coming out. So this is why Trump is pushing on the Fed to pretty much do rate cuts, but the Fed is also, having its own determination based off of the tariffs and all the other data that's coming out. So this is where we just have to keep on keeping up with this information, and then from there have an update on what's going on. But this is kind of what's causing the fluctuations in the markets, guys. We have more important data coming out the remainder of the week, so make sure you guys are still staying tuned. Now, in terms of where you should be moving and what you should be doing as an altcoin investor, dollar cost average, guys. Right now we're seeing the market see deviations like crazy, and it's really due to the market's just actually being very, very underpriced. I think a lot of people are speculative and jumping from asset to asset, and I think also a lot of people just are completely uncertain on what's going to be happening. But this is where the crazy people that make those crazy gains separate themselves by dollar cost averaging while everybody else is capitulating. And the main thing that we focus on is Bitcoin dominance in the altcoin market cap, with the total 3 E chart excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And right here, Merlin talks about it, pretty much his perspective. He says, once Bitcoin dominance breaks down, altcoins won't wait for you. This is your discount window. Don't waste it. Accumulate before the crowd does. And this is exactly what I'm going to be doing this week, guys. When I get paid, I'm also doing some day trading right now. I'm going to be allocating into my assets because I know a lot of people are capitulating their bags right now, which is why I'm going to be, getting more. I think the people that are going to make crazy gains, guys, are the people that are buying right now whenever we see deviations, not whenever the markets are green. Now, Crypto Intelligence X gives his perspective on currently what he thinks is going to be happening, practically deviations. He says, good morning, everyone. It's going to be an eventful week. In the last year, we've seen mostly retracements in the first week of the new month as Bitcoin and ETH options expire. This time, that would be in confluence with rejecting the supply trend line. Let's see what happens. So at the end of the day, we could be seeing a rip up, but at the end of the day, we usually see deviations the first week of a new month with Bitcoin and ETH options expiring. So this is where it's good to keep different perspectives in terms of what's going to be happening. But today is the first, so a lot of people are anticipating that potentially we could be seeing deviations, but only time will tell, guys, especially with the news events that are happening. Justin Bennett also gives his perspective around Bitcoin and exactly what we're currently seeing and how more deviations could be happening with this imbalance zone that we're currently seeing. He says, GM, not much to talk about recently. However, I still think Bitcoin trades low to 103s from here. I'd expect buyers to step in if we get it because, at the end of the day, that's going to be an area of liquidity. People are going to start scooping it up. But he says, I'm not also entirely convinced by the June retest of 98K. We'll see. For now, Bitcoin is clinging to 106,700 support. So right now, guys, Bitcoin is just clinging to support. There's a lot of data coming out, a lot of information. We're waiting to see more about these global economic events with the tariffs, and on the 9th, whenever apparently all those percentages around the tariffs are going to be going back into play with countries that haven't made a deal yet. So this is really important, guys, to keep up with all this information and if we could be seeing more deviations. And that's why on this channel I'll give you all this info. Crypto Mitch now gives his perspective around altcoins, and it's practically how I feel as well. He says, I'm not worried about my altcoin positions. The markets are just extremely mispriced, and it's just a matter of time until the show goes on again. And right now, guys, there's a lot of global economic events happening. The Fed isn't cutting rates, but we're anticipating rate cuts. There's a lot of mixed sentiment in terms of what's happening, but as an altcoin investor, you got to be okay with your positions, dollar cost average, keep up with all the events, and then from there, just wait for the markets to believe in what you believe in as well. Now, like I said, altcoins have been seeing deviations. My crypto portfolio that you're seeing right here has been deviating like crazy, and I'm sure your crypto portfolio has as well. But right now, guys, is what separates the weak from the strong. I've said it 1,000 times already, but I'm gonna say it again. If you are dollar cost averaging right now into positions that you truly believe in, you are going to make some crazy gains, as opposed to people that wait for the green in the market and then start buying. This is where, people that have already allocated earlier aren't in such losses. And also, whenever you start to learn more about price action, you know when to take profits. And on this channel, I plan to tell you all that stuff. So, swiping everything to the side, guys. Right now, that is currently what is going on. We have a whole bunch of data that is coming out at the end of this week. We also have a holiday on Friday with the 4th of July, so the markets are going to be closed. Right now, we are seeing deviations, mixed sentiment, but right now is the best time to start dollar cost averaging. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Dollar cost averaging into your assets so that you can get a lower entry cost. This is pretty much going to allow you to get assets at a much better price, so that whenever they start to explode back to their recent highs and then break those as well, you're going to be sitting in a much better position, as opposed to someone that just starts buying into the market whenever the green happens. So all that information is super important, guys, and on this channel I'm gonna keep you updated with the day-to-day and how everything comes out. So if you're new to my channel, check out the rest of my content and keep you guys updated on the day-to-day information, price action on Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and practically everything you need to be aware of, guys. Do not capitulate your bags. Go check out the rest of my content, guys, so you can get a little bit more familiar on how to make some money right now, also how to navigate the space and exactly when to sell your altcoins, and a few other different videos just to give you more perspectives on how to navigate and overall do more due diligence in the crypto space. It's a very tricky space, guys. People throw out different headlines, cause people to want to sell their bags, and especially if you don't have the information and know how liquidity moves, you are going to listen to someone that has more information than you, and this is where you got to come to your own consensus. I give you guys multiple different perspectives, the price action, how liquidity is shifting, and then from there I want you to do your own due diligence and pretty much come to your own conclusion. On this channel we do all that, so make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I drop day-to-day information, so stay tuned, and hopefully I catch you tomorrow. Peace.